Setting a framework for the conversations too can be very helpful, and just letting the other person know the rules of the engagement. So many leaders stay silent on important issues because they're afraid. But the cost of not speaking up is far greater. Being clear is kind. When we have difficult conversations, oftentimes what's holding us back is, oh no, I don't want to hurt their feelings, or maybe I think of this person as my friend, or what's their reaction gonna be? And we think we might be kind by skirting around the bush or not having the conversation at all. What happens is a snowball effect of whatever was the issue. It's bigger and bigger and bigger, and ultimately in any kind of leadership position becomes costly. It costs emotions, it costs money. So learning to have these important conversations, crucial conversations, utilizing skill and being clear, we're not only being kind, but we're also helping each of us, all parties involved, to grow. Some of the strategies that I've learned over running a large corporation and growing a business quite rapidly from 1 employee to over 100 in 3.5 years. I have had many difficult conversations and have worked with many different types of personalities. And one of the things that I use that's very important is this mindset and concept of being curious. Maintaining a curiosity, not critical, mindset helps us approach each situation. Can I see you as an actual human with wants, needs, desires, and goals that you're trying to achieve? Now, if our goals don't align, we might have that conflict, right? And by seeing the human first, we now can approach them the same way that we would want to be approached, or even better yet. Now that sounds like what? The golden rule. And taking it one step further, I am a proponent of the platinum rule, where we don't just do unto others as we would have them do to ourselves. That's golden. Platinum is do unto others as they would want done to them. And this puts us in a space to judge them according to their skill set, not my expectation. If I judge them according to my skill set, I'm left with disappointment. Now, because we all experience the world differently, we're gonna come with a different set of skill sets, mindset, way of viewing things. When I judge someone to their skill set, I get to know them, I'm curious, I'm asking questions, and I'm gathering information based on what they're currently capable of doing and what they're capable of learning, and what steps may need to take place in order for them to level up if that's needed. And we'll only be left with conflict if we're like, no, you have to do it my way, this is the only way. As opposed to, hey, help me understand. Show me your thought process here. I feel like I'm missing some information. Walk me through your process. And great leaders surround themselves with people who, and maintaining that open mind and curiosity, that my way is not always gonna be the best. Matter of fact, it's rarely the best. Or who have the skill set to the leader's weakness, right? We always hire to our weakness. If I can't do technology, I'm gonna find someone who can do technology, and I'm gonna go, hey, show me, help me understand. Ooh, that's nice, love that. What about this idea? And we're gonna have a back and forth to create the ultimate ideas and plan of action to make something great happen. So as leaders, you've gotta step up and have those conversations. When we're not stepping up, ask yourself, are you playing a victim? Are you letting the world happen to you? That's one of the greatest downfalls of a leader. Passing off the blame, counter-accusing, staying silent, as opposed to owning, hey, the buck stops here. Clear is kind. Some strategies in going into difficult conversations can be as finite and as detailed as the time of day. But there's this concept of where there were these judges and they have a full day of people stepping before the judge and they have to make these verdicts. And it was either a yes or a no. They got what they wanted, they didn't get what they wanted. And in the morning time, there was a high percentage of where the judges said yes, yes, yes. But when it got around lunchtime, it was no, no, no. And the only thing that they could find as they studied these scenarios was the no's increased when the judges were hungry. And as silly as it sounds, it makes total sense. How often do we go, hey, let's break bread together? When someone sits down to negotiations, we're so much more in a space of being able to handle a hard conversation, handle the bad news, or negotiate in each other's favor. So thinking about time of day and what is the experience of the other person and planning that out appropriately. Other strategies when building up into difficult conversations is setting the agenda and let them know, hey, I've got a few things that are really important for me to talk to you about. And it's going to be a little bit of a difficult conversation for me, but I just would love to solicit some compassion as we work towards learning together. Setting a framework for the conversations too can be very helpful, and just letting the other person know the rules of the engagement. Now, rules of engagement, what? I say something, you say something. Yep, that's the foundational pragmatic rule. When we communicate with one another, particularly in a difficult conversation, we can take offense really easily and the root of offense is you violated a rule that I have set in my mind. And I'm going to offend you when I violated a rule that you've set in your mind. And these rules oftentimes are unspoken, unacknowledged. We may not even know, right? It's the same reason where, let's say your mother-in-law calls you or doesn't call you and you get offended. Oh my gosh, I can't believe she, fill in the blank. When we are having difficult conversations, level the playing field and create a framework for how we're going to engage. Hey, thanks for joining me today. We're going to go through a number of really important topics. I've listed them out here. It's going to be X, Y, and Z. Some of these might be difficult. I do acknowledge that we may have differing opinions, but let's maintain a mindset of curiosity. I'm going to speak for about 2 minutes. We're welcome to set a timer on the input that I have. After that, please ask any clarifying questions. Once all the clarifying questions have gotten out onto the table, then we can proceed with further discussion. That way we're able to calibrate on what it is that we are talking about, that we all have a clear understanding of the issue at hand, and now we can come together unified in curiosity to come up with the best solution. It's not about you, it's not about me, this isn't personal. And by setting up that framework, we're able to create a space where we can be clear and come out with success and relationships still intact.